And we're back now, guys. We just went to go grab some water real fast, but we have Suppington versus Pears going into this one. They're already halfway into it, but Suppington already up 2-0 for this game, and Garen strikes right now to pick it up, make it a 1-2 game.
Yeah, this is a matchup too. My goodness, you look at the rosters for Pears in blue, Garen, Views, and Nitrous, and on the other side, Suppington, Mektos, ZPS, and Luker. I mean, all three players for Suppington rocking that Rival Series Season 6. Well, actually, I guess ZPS rocking the Season 5, but, you know, Garen, the sub for Rogue as well. I mean, this is quite the matchup, but not surprised to see these teams making it this far. ZPS, what a pass! Mektos will score. Beauty for Suppington to put them up 3-1.
Yeah, and Mektos, this guy, he's been around for a long time. Him, ZPS, and Luke RL. I mean, this is like one of those classic matchups almost. I mean, these are all such solid players that we have out in the field right now that you just can't go wrong.
I mean, you're not wrong. It does kind of feel like a Rival Series matchup. I always love getting to watch Mektos, ZPS. I mean, Luke as well. Honestly, this whole lobby is a whole lot of fun to watch for the most part. Though I will say, with Garen being the rogue sub, you don't get as much opportunity to watch him play as you do a lot of the other bubble players, as Nitrous is going to knock that one home, make it 3-2. And yeah, this one's starting into a close series. I mean, if we would have done all that prediction and everything beforehand, I think, you know, I would have called this going to 3 games for sure.
Yeah, I'm not even entirely sure who I would have picked. But yeah, Garen, like you were saying, it's interesting because you don't typically see him a whole lot, but he is the rogue sub there in RLCS. And, I mean, we've seen him play an RLCS matchup before when they actually did need their sub to come in for Wonder, and he stepped up and he hit that thing right out the park for them. So he's shown that he's got the skill to compete at these higher levels. There's a reason that he's their substitute.
Well, we'll see if he can help lead this team to the comeback now. 3-2, 60 seconds left here in game number 1 as this is ZPS. He's going to take that play, falls right down. Ooh, no touch from Views, but he will get up to it. Nitrous now just trying to play this one through. Luke keeping it at mid. Now Garen. By Mektos, ZPS has to make the save. I don't know if he was quite ready for that. Able to get up to it, though. Now the pass down. Good cut of the pass again by ZPS. And that'll keep us 3-2 with 30 seconds left to go. But Pears making the push now, trying to equalize. That's off the ceiling, and again it's ZPS. Able to keep that one away for Suppington.
Yeah, and I mean, again, close game, close matchup. This is one of those ones I'm not entirely sure who I would have picked for winning it, but it looks like with that shot right there, Suppington might have locked down game number 1 here for themselves. Great bump there in the net from Mektos as he takes Nitrous out of that play and any contention for picking up a save.
Yeah, certainly with just 2-goal lead with only 13 to go, seems like Suppington's got game one locked down here. But it's been a close one. From the minute we saw kickoff, it was a 2-goal lead for Suppington a bit early on, but Pears able to come back, make it close. We're going to go ahead, go into game number 2 here in a moment, but again, when you've got players of this caliber, you look at how good, I mean, just individually this entire lobby is at the moment. Again, I want to make this point one more time, Ryan, that it's going to come down to which team plays better as a unit. I don't think individual plays are going to win you games in this tournament. I don't think that individual plays are going to even score a whole lot of goals for the most part with how close these players are.
Yeah, and right here you get a clear distinction of what that teamwork looks like. Fantastic passing play right there. Views popping it up high for Garen to come in, drop it down low. But that's what you need. And the thing is that despite Pears even having some solid team plays, they still couldn't pull out the victory here against Suppington. But both teams doing very solidly with their shots, both sitting at 9 shots, both sitting pretty closely in saves too. We have Pears with 4 and Suppington sitting there with 6. So, I mean, these guys, they are just so evenly matched that it really is tough. But Suppington, they're looking like they have that extra oomph that we aren't quite seeing here for the Pears. But, I mean, again, this is a best of 3. That first one could have been the Pears kind of feeling them out and getting ready for this next one.
Most certainly, but now it's do or die time for the blue side. They've got to take this victory here in game 2 as we are underway. 5 minutes on the clock, 0-0 on the scoreboard. And yes, Suppington trying to close this one out in 2 straight games, move on to those winners semis. Nitrous, Hughes and company, they've got different ideas. Garen's going to be the first on the board. A nice little passing play through mid. Garen with the shot. 1-0 for Pears.
Yeah, and already a solid opening here. Garen catching that one, and they try to save that one off the roof from the net, and you know, that is always such a hard save to try and make. It's just a very difficult angle, but they came close on it, but still, that is not going to be good enough as we go up 1-0. We're not even 30 seconds in.
That's a bit of a whiff there from 2 of the Pears players that are able to make it work, though. Over to Nitrous. Mektos is going to make the save. But yeah, I mean, not even a minute in, just barely over 30 seconds in, and it's a 1-0 game for Pears as ZPS looks to equalize. Mektos keeps it in as well. That's off the back. Well, Garen's got to be careful here. He's able to make the touch, and Nitrous will come over the top in support. Keeps it a 1-0 game, but Suppington, the lineup that they have, it certainly feels like they can score at will, but so can Garen as he finds the pass from Nitrous, 2-0.
And this is exactly what we were talking about. These team plays coming out in full force. Garen just quickly enough able to beat out Luke for that shot. 2-0, and like I was saying, game number 1 could have been Pears' opportunity to just kind of feel out this Suppington team, and it's starting to kind of look that way.
We saw Suppington start 2-0 in game 1. They were able to maintain that lead throughout the game. They won it 4-2. Now the tables turned here in favor of Pears. 2-0 for them as Views tries to make it 3. Luke able to make the save. High-flying one at that. He's going to go up using the ceiling, trying to find the pass out in front. Not going to be able to do it. ZPS now back wall. Mektos is there, but Nitrous to Garen. Is that the hat trick? No, just off the bar. Rebound off the post as well. And Garen going to have to wait a little bit to try to find that hat trick.
What is going on? Garen is all over the field right now. His pace just can't be matched as he's constantly outplaying these guys, just beating everybody out to the ball. A couple times he's beating out his own teammates to the ball. He's moving so fast.
Ooh, but he can't catch up to that one as ZPS, they'll play it all the way to midfield, and this is just an innocent little touch from Luke, but it catches everyone off guard. You can see Garen and Views kind of double committing for that play. Nobody home for the defense, and that'll make it a 2-1 game. As now Views off the kickoff, trying to beat Mektos there. It's going to be Garen to pop it up. Luke looking for an equalizer. Almost found it. ZPS up for it now. Looking for that double touch. Views going to take it away, but Mektos fires off the bar. ZPS rebound, not enough power to get it by Nitrous. And it will be back down into the orange half. Garen rotating forward. Now Luke. He's going to catch it one-on-one with Nitrous. Doesn't get around him. ZPS was there, but he can't get to it quick enough. It looked like he tapped the brakes a bit too hard there, Ryan.
It looked like even for the 1v1 opportunity there that Luke had, it looked like he panicked and he tried to move it a little too quickly. I would have liked to see him try to slow that one down, control a little bit more, and maybe go for a flick. But he kind of took a mediocre shot there, and so I would have liked to see him just slow down things a bit there. But for the most part, we are still seeing Suppington. They are keeping up the pace. They are keeping with the plays. They're only down by 1, but now make that 2. Gaster Curse is a real thing. But Nitrous, great pass off to the side from Views. And again, we just keep seeing these openings happen. But Garen, in particular, picks up a great bump there in net on ZPS. And that is going to be all the opening that they need to make that lead even further apart.
ZPS getting hung out to dry a little bit there. They're due to a 3-on-1 in the orange half. And unfortunately for ZPS, the bump from Garen, all it takes to open up the net for Nitrous. Going to make it a 3-1 game with 1:40 left to go as Nitrous keeping it in the orange zone. Luke looking for the pass, but it's going to be used to cut it off. Open goal. That will fall in. 4-1 in favor of Pears. And it almost, I don't want to call it here quite yet, but it does look like we are rapidly approaching game 3.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think what's more surprising is just how different this game looks from the last one. Pears are looking so dominating here in game 2. It was just like game number 1, they just did some quick studying up on their opponent, and it was like, okay, this is all we need to do. And they found that secret sauce they needed to come into this one and do a good job. But Luke coming in for a top corner shot right there. Just gonna chip that one right over the last defender.
And that'll keep him in this game, too. And it's another pass from Mektos. That was one very similar to the one he had in game 1. I believe it was ZPS on the receiving end of that one. But this time, it's Luke to find his second. And like I said, it keeps them in this game. They've only got to score 2 now with 70 to go. ZPS is going to try to rumble down the wing there. Nitrous. Now Garen all the way back forces Mektos to play it. Good pass over to Luke. Now back to Mektos. Quickly through midfield. Nitrous will make the deflecting touch, and it will stay with Views as trying to waste time now for Pears. We saw game 1 score line go similar to this one as Luke can't get up there to make the follow-up touch. The score is just reversed now. Will we see a game 3? I think it's likely, but Suppington giving themselves a little bit of momentum here at the end of this game, trying to maintain possession and show that they can score here as Views got to make a huge save on Luke, and that should just about end this game.
Yeah, no, I think we can safely call it here for them. We are going to be seeing a game number 3, and Pears, there's just no doubt about it. These guys came out in game 2 with a vengeance. They looked a lot more solid in this one. The team plays were coming out beautifully, and they just really couldn't be stopped in their offensive force that they had going. But
they will take game 2. We're going to head into game number 3 now, and momentum is a huge thing in Rocket League. And personally, even though Suppington had a pretty good final minute there, they were able to muster 10 shots, which is 2 more than Pears were able to put on goal throughout that game. I still feel like Pears played a more complete game, played the game a little bit better than Suppington did. And, they found opportunities like this 3-on-1 that you just saw there. They found those opportunities, and they were able to capitalize on them. And it's hard to say the same. You can't really say the same for Suppington.
Yeah, Suppington, they really struggled to find more of those opportunities. And it's kind of hard to tell if it was because of just how much better the Pears offense looked, or if it was just they couldn't stand up against the Pears defense. It's kind of hard to tell which one of those was the factor that played into this. But I mean, either way, Pears, I mean, they picked up 5 saves right there. They had a total of 8 shots. You compare that. Shots are still looking similar between both teams, but Suppington not quite stepping up in the areas that they needed to. They had a couple of shots, but they just weren't. There was no bite to them, and that's where they were kind of missing out. Is we need them to go into this game, find the bite in those shots, and I think that is where they're going to start having the opportunity to stand up against Pears. But if Pears play the way they did in this game just now, I don't see Suppington taking game number 3.
Well, we're about to find out. Is game 3 on our screens right now, and Luke is going to be the first one to find the back of the goal. 1-0 for Suppington, 5 seconds in.
Yeah, and they took no wasted time here. Luke quickly coming in on this one. And, I mean, Suppington, they're ready to come into this one. They know it's a new game. They know it's a new day, basically. And they are going to give it all they've got because this is where it comes down to. And the thing is, too, though, is whoever loses here definitely has the makings of a team that has the ability to make that Cinderella story run in the lower bracket.
There are a lot of good teams here today, and I agree with you, but it's not going to be easy as Views able to make that save there. And now Suppington trying to put the pressure on, looking to extend their lead if they can. As EPS over to Luke. This is back wall, good play by Garen off the fall from that one, as this is going to be Nitrous to turn. He's got this down off the ceiling for Views. Luke not quite able to make the play. Mektos is just going to clear it on, and now Luke looking to put on some more pressure. Great pass to Mektos, but Nitrous is there. Read that one well. Keeps it away, and Garen will just play it down into the corner. So Pears now under the gun. They've got to find this equalizer. That's a good touch from Views. Tries to find the bump on ZPS, but it'll stay 1-0. And Suppington doing a pretty good job of maintaining possession, but I think they need to be careful because Pears are starting to break through a little bit.
Yeah, and one of the things, though, is we've been talking a lot about how the team plays, but there are those times when, you know, those solo plays are going to be where you can kind of shine some things. And if I'm looking at anybody to pull off the solo plays here on the Pears team, it's Garen. I mean, he showed last game that he has the speed to outpace everybody here on the pitch, even his own team. And so he's the one I'm kind of looking at if we need one of them to step up in the solo play.
Well, Garen makes the save there. It's going to be Mektos now trying to play it around. But as you mentioned him, Garen comes up big for the Pears. Even the game 1-0 with 2:52 left to go. That's a good pass to Luke, but he can't quite get a touch on it now, as that's going to be Garen playing this far down. Mektos down to ZPS, and you can see Suppington really playing defensive now, trying to keep everything away from the front of their goal, and it's causing Pears some problems, though. A little bit of an overcommit there. Now Nitrous looks for the shot. Luke with the save. Falls down off the back wall, able to keep his team in the lead, though Garen threatens and scores. 1-1, 2:22.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. There's going to be a guy who comes in to get the finisher. It's going to be him, and Views just got thrown away like a sack of garbage right there by the opponent. But again, they're coming in, they're finding the shots when they need them, and they're making the plays happen. 1-1. We're just now getting past halftime. And, you know, this is a solid game 3. Like, this is how you want to see this end, is you want to see it come down to the wire and see who's got the grit to close it out.
If you are just joining us, welcome in. You joined us at a great time. We are here in the quarterfinals of the winners bracket. It is a double elimination tournament. We play best of 3s all throughout the night until the grand finals. We are in game number 3 between Pears in the blue, Suppington in orange. Winner of this one, of course, moving on to the semis in that winner's bracket for a chance to play into the grand final. Through the winners, certainly what you want as you get that bracket reset, as that's a good play from Garen. He's looking for the pass to Views. It's there. Luke won't make the touch, but Mektos will. All 3 players back for Suppington, able to make the save. You've got to figure heading into this final minute 20. This next goal could be the series decider, as that's Garen getting rejected by ZPS, pinching that off the post, and Mektos will clear.
Yeah, and it really could come down to just this one goal. And that's the scariest part about it almost if you're one of these players, is just knowing that if you overcommit even slightly enough for them to have the opening and go in for a shot and pick up that goal, it's just, you want to be as careful as you can about where you commit your offense and making sure you've got someone back to pull off defensive plays where necessary. And so it's a tightrope walk. You want the offense, but you also have to make sure you have that defense. And sitting 40 seconds left, 1-1. I mean, there's some good chance we could go in overtime on this one.
I don't think Luke wants anything to do with that, as he will score, collects his own rebound. ZPS will get credit for it as well, but Luke, his second of the game, comes at a huge moment. 30 seconds left to go, and Pears backs fully against the wall here, Ryan. They've got 30 seconds to find the goal to send us to overtime here in game 3. Will it be Luke to close this one out? Hughes is going to make the save. Final 20 seconds.
Yeah, and you know Nitrous has to be kicking himself for that one. He just missed that touch up above the backboard that he needed here. He will make it that time, but they've got 12 seconds left. They've got to drive this one down into the orange half quickly.
Some good passes through mid. Nitrous, is that on? No, it's just wide. Mektos will clear it away. No time left to go. They've got to keep the ball up. Won't be able to do it, and Suppington hang on. They win game 1. They drop game 2, but they hold on to take the 2-1 victory in game 3. And that will be good enough to move them forward into that semifinals in the winner's bracket. But goodness me, I still think Pears, a very solid performance, and I have a feeling we'll see them on stream a little bit later tonight.
Well, the thing is, too, here is Suppington taking down Pears here. Who could pose a bigger threat than them going into the semifinal match? I mean, we have Bing Bong and Missouri there in the other part of the bracket, and it's just who could possibly bring as much of a challenge here for Suppington as the Pears did, because this could have been a grand finals match right here. These guys are both very talented teams. You easily can make a case for why these would both be grand finals teams. But these shots, again, we just see so much talent come out from both these teams. Garen right there going for the quick pass, and then these saves come out as well. I mean, these guys are just constantly back and forth. Great teams all around, but Suppington have the wherewithal to take it.
Yeah, the game winner from Luke on your screen right now. And it's when you get teams of this caliber so close to one another that it's just one mistake can be the difference between a win and a loss. And right there, Luke capitalizing on a little bit of a mistake on the back wall defense there. But either way, a good victory for Suppington.